third episode of the Low Rollers Dungeons & Dragons podcast adventure. As always, I am your host, Danny Allinson, and today I will be playing Bryn Wanders. With me here is Jonathan Edwards, playing Narroth.
Hello.
Danny Garcia, playing Astor, or actually Phillip this week, sorry.
Hiya.
Alan Seymour will be filling in as I don't know.
Hey.
And Robert Seitz will be playing Zarrius, servant of Obad-hai.
Good evening.
And last but not least, of course, we have our illustrious dungeon master, Christopher Rondeau.
Who?
You.
Oh.
Just as a recap of what has happened so far, after failing in the tower and accidentally releasing a void god, our heroes have been set out to build an army in a distant continent of Asea. The party has made it there and reached the first town where they've been tasked with getting together with two men, Davik, the man who runs the casino there, as well as the king of the town. Anything else you want to add there, Chris?
Yeah, we left off getting escorted to Davik, or supposedly getting escorted to Davik, where the party had their weapons confiscated and they have been given black bags over their heads to hopefully keep the place that they're going hidden. And that is basically where we left off.
All right. So, Chris, if you're ready, we'll go ahead and take it away with Episode 3, Beneath the Dying Starlight.
So we are slowly walking. It is a bit of a rough and tumble as you guys are being escorted seemingly left and right. There just seems to be no order. You seem to be going down streets and you seem to be going down alleyways. You hear the voices of other people specifically talking about you guys, but no one appears to be stopping this man who is escorting you. It begins to rain, and the wetness of the bag over your head, it seems to suffocate you as you breathe in and breathe out, and it takes the greatest willpower to not freak out. At this point, you start hearing basically a gruesome amount of cussing coming from Yvette, the woman who has joined your party, who is the captain of the rinky-dink ship that took you to this continent. Saying things how this is not her responsibility to be kidnapped and not her responsibility to deal with evil men. And as we go forward, eventually you don't necessarily hear the stone of a city on your feet. You feel the feelings of grass as you go through what seems to be a rather straightforward path at this point. Anything anyone wants to do while we are traveling?
I would like to, maybe, if the suffocation allows me to speak. I'd like to ask the man that is directing us if I may talk to a few of my companions. So, in character, I will say, excuse me, sir, may I speak to a few of my companions? I would like to ask them about something.
I mean, I would like to keep moving, but
Is it? We could probably talk and walk if that's okay.
as long as you guys can keep track of each other.
Okay, thank you. And with that, I'd like to walk over to Narroth. Narroth, where are you?
Now, if I'm remembering this correctly, weren't we given a rope and we're like each holding on to the rope that the person in front of us is holding on to?
You're holding on to like each other's back per se, not necessarily the rope itself.
We're holding hands.
Basically.
I see. Okay. Sorry. Narroth would say, I'm right behind you.
Oh. I have a question for you.
Odd time to ask a question, but go ahead.
Well, if we are ending up going to Davik, I'd like to be able to know something ahead of time.
Just be aware that our conversation is not away from prying ears.
I completely understand. It is not something that would be harmful to us or anybody else. I was wondering kind of how you went about trying to gather the thieves' guilds. Because since this is kind of what we're on our way doing, we're trying to gather resources and aid instead of trying to gather a group of people. And I was wondering how you kind of went about doing that. Whether it was, do you have to, once you approach them per se with your plea for to get together, wasn't it something like you usually have to give them something in return, or what?
It's not too difficult. You present a vision. If they agree with your vision, you can start to move forward with your alliance. Now, nobody wants to do something without something that's in it for them. So you very clearly lay out how they would benefit from this venture. And if they need more convincing after that, that becomes something that sweetens the pot rather than is the rather than the thing you're bargaining with initially. Does that make sense?
Yes. I am a little concerned about what we can give him per se in return that he doesn't already have.
Well, what we're offering is to think of it this way. What is our final goal that we're going to accomplish with this help?
To rid the world from the wounded king.
And how does that benefit him?
He does not... I'm not too sure. Because they don't get affected by his powers, necessarily, his psychic powers. The only way that they might get affected is that the people in the surrounding areas might try to come to him for aid rather than just us coming to ask for aid. I don't know.
That sounds like a worthwhile pursuit of conversation.
Rather than have an influx of people trying to receive help. It's just a small party trying to work their way ahead of time. Maybe.
Think more on this. You're headed in the right direction.
Meaning,
you know how this can benefit him. That is your main pitch. Anything above what this brings him will be negotiated later. Think and concentrate more on how he personally and professionally can benefit from this, and if he asks for anything in addition to this, we will come to that bridge when we get there. Cross that bridge when we get there.
Okay, that gives me a better idea of what we might be up against. Thank you for your insight. And I walk back towards the front of the line where I was situated and proceed forward.
Cool. Anyone else want to try anything?
Yeah. I put the Eyes of the Eagle on before we put the bags on our head. I'm going to see if that helps at all. Try to see if I can spot any landmarks as we walk.
I don't know if the eyes of the eagle will allow you to see through fabric.
Okay.
Yeah, you notice that it's the interesting threads going through the fabric.
Oh, wow. This is really nice handiwork.
And it appears clean.
Oh, well, that's nice too. Does it
Um,
smell?
It smells like bag.
Mmm. That's all
Yeah.
I got.
All right. Anything from anyone else?
No.
All right. So you guys walk for. So you guys exit out of the left right going through alleyways. It takes about 20 minutes to get through there. It takes another 20 or so minutes to reach the area that you where this man stops you for a second. He looks at you guys like, all right, we're here. Let me take off these bags and you can see what is going on. So he quickly takes off your bag, and you notice you seem to be out in the plains in a house of some sort. Any immediate reactions?
Just describe the area a little
Sure.
bit more.
So you go in there and you see a one-story, seems like a fairly large house. You do notice that there are a few windows you can see. There are it seems to be nicely painted. The roof appears to be made from brick as opposed to like hay or something to that extent. The road you're walking on appears to start having stonework as you headed into this walkway to the front door. And there appears to be two wooden doors that are at your entrance. You are surrounded by plains, so it's a pretty clear area to see where, especially since you have the eyes of the eagle, you can make a glimpse of the town, but it seems like you are outside the town at this point.
How far outside town, roughly?
About a mile.
Okay.
It's enough to probably keep it out of distance of everyone else who doesn't have your fancy schmancy glasses. But he is going to open the door, and you can follow him in, I guess.
Okay.
Waiting for Zarrius.
Let's go in, guys.
Skip
I'm
on and hop back
I'm
in.
gonna walk in, kind of cautiously.
I'm going to follow Zarrius a little bit more confidently.
I'm going to keep an eye on the bag with all our weapons on it.
Phillip will walk in after Yvette.
What do I see when I walk in?
Well, you walk in, you see a hallway. It's a fairly long hallway, maybe about 40, 50 feet, so I guess it's not that long of a hallway. You walk in and you... let me just show you the map real quick.
Okay. Okay. And we came through which door?
To the right.
Okay.
That one?
I didn't see a ping. Yeah, you came in through that door into this hallway.
Okay.
Okay. And is there a door to the south part of that middle spot where that other door is to the north? Is that what I see right there, or is that not a door?
So this is a door right here. There's a door right here. And then there's a door at the end of the hallway.
Okay, perfect.
So he's going to lead you through this door and take you to the right here.
Okay, I will follow.
Yep, follow without. resistance.
Is he carrying the bag with all our weapons in it?
Correct.
Okay. Then I'll follow once I know they don't die as soon as they step through the door.
They don't die as soon as
Okay.
they step. But what Zarrius, who is walking in first, and Narroth right behind him, sees is they see an older man. He is about 55, 60. He's an older tiefling. He appears to be wearing some sort of button-down shirt. He has his sleeves folded up to his upper arm, like a nice gray shirt with supposedly silk. I call them performing pants, and I can't think of the slacks, with like silk slacks going down. He has a nice belt. You do notice that he does have a wand in a holster on his right side as well, and he is appearing to be looking at books.
Is he facing towards us or away from us?
As soon as you guys walk in, he'll face you.
I greet him by saying good evening.
Good evening. You are the newcomers of this land. Is that correct?
Yes, and you are?
Oh, I am Davik. Nice to meet you.
Pleasure. Come on in, guys. And I signal for everyone to come inside the room. Does the other guy follow us in?
The mystery man.
The mystery man.
Yeah, he follows you in.
Okay. What? I guess my first question for you, sir, is maybe why have you brought us here under such conditions?
Such conditions? What conditions were you brought here under?
Well, we were told that we needed to give up our weapons and hoods over our heads.
Oh, no. Why would they do something like this? Give them their weapons back. Give them their weapons back.
Does he give us our weapons? Does Mystery Man give us our weapons back?
Yeah, he kind of very rudely throws them on the table, and you guys can pick them up as desired.
I'll pick up my staff immediately.
Bryn,
And
I
my
might
whip.
get
Bryn will pick up her pistol first and start loading.
Phillip will also pick up his weapons.
Is this normal procedure for newcomers?
Oh, depends on the newcomer, but we don't need to talk about that.
Is there something wrong with us?
Oh no, we just wanted to ask a couple questions.
Okay, well, go ahead and ask away. We're more than happy to oblige.
Well, maybe we should start with this one. Why didn't you enjoy our little spectacular thing at the amusement war earlier tonight?
You call that amusement?
Oh, yes, everyone loves it here.
Maybe what Bryn meant to say was that is not something that we normally see where we are from. And so it kind of saddened us a bit to see what was going on, since that is not what we normally see as entertainment.
We don't like mopers coming around and ruining the show for other people.
I assure you that will never happen again.
He smirks. So, I'm Davik, I'm reasonably important around here. I just want to get to know our newcomers who bring interesting company as dragon folk, and I don't even know what this gray skinned man is here, but just want to know what brings you into town.
Well, maybe just if you don't know who we all are, I'd like to maybe introduce ourselves. I am Zarrius, servant of Obad-hai. To my right is the dragon folk is Narroth. The other tiefling to behind Narroth is Bryn. She's kind of new to our party, but very much welcomed and very encouraging. To my left is the gray man that you said earlier. His name is Phillip. He's an orc.
He gives a slight curtsy with his head.
And to his left is Yvette. And I actually don't know what kind of person Yvette is. She just happened to man our ship, or captain our ship on our way over here.
I'm mostly human.
Oh, well, thank you for telling me. This is our
Secret.
group.
You see her go into her belt, pull out a flask of some sort, and begin to drink.
Don't mind her. She does this rather frequently.
Zarrius doesn't see this, but Yvette sticks her tongue out at him.
I'm trying to make a good impression. Anyways, well, the reason why we have come into your city is because we've actually been sent by the neighboring continent of Excelsior to come over here and try to get some aid and assistance with extremely difficult matter that we and you as well have been thrust upon. There's been an issue that's been thrust upon you as well as our continent that needs to be taken care of. And I'm pretty sure you are well aware that the wounded king has escaped and is starting to terrorize the neighboring continent of Excelsior, and he will sooner or later end up coming over here and start working on you guys. I know you are a tiefling, and you and I as well know that we are not as affected by such things that he wields, but nonetheless, you will be impacted by this matter.
He gives a slight smirk. I have no idea what you're talking about. Wounded King? That's a ridiculous name for anything, really.
Well, maybe you've heard of his other name, Letrus Leon.
He kind of shrugs. It's like, sorry. Whatever problems are happening on your continent hasn't reached our ears yet, or nor are we really concerned about it.
The leaders of the continent over there have sent us over here, our party, over here to try and get aid from you guys. Specifically from you, actually. You were mentioned in our tasking. We have heard of your great resources and riches and have come in peace to try and get your aid to help us with this matter, if you are so willing to. The reason why we come over here is because we know that the people over in Excelsior are going to want to start fleeing the continent and coming over here and impacting your society. And we want to try and minimize that as much as possible. As you said, you don't really like people that are not part of your culture over here as much. And we would like to see if you would be willing to help us in this matter.
seems a little out of our way, wouldn't you say?
Just a tad. But we would be able to take said aid that you would be able to give us and take it back on our ship to help our people as soon as possible. We don't want your culture to be affected in any sort of way by said king.
I'm sure we wouldn't be affected at all. I'm not too worried about that.
Bryn is gonna nudge Narroth a little bit.
Narroth will look behind and raise an eyebrow.
She just kind of... You want to help? She doesn't say it, but she's... That's what her face
Giving
is
an
saying.
expression.
Yeah.
In that case, Narroth will say, "You must understand our position. Although we are the first to become the victims of this Leon, this wounded king, we are certainly not going to be the last. Once they are done with our continent, they will go to yours. However, right now you have the best opportunity you can to defeat this conqueror. You have the resources of 2 continents, but if you wait and you refuse to help us, when he comes to you, you will have only yourselves. If you think you can take this lecherous Leon, then prove it. Come, bring your resources, bring whatever you can to help us in our fight, and not only will less lives be lost, but this whole catastrophe will be over once and for all."
He ponders this for a minute, and he looks at the other guard who has been in this room, the guard who escorted you in. He says, "Why don't you leave us for a second?" And he opens the door and walks out. Look, I don't have very many resources to help you, even if I wanted to. But I can obtain it.
Through what
Narroth.
means?
Well, that really depends on how much you guys are willing to help out.
What do you have in mind?
About 4 months ago, we encountered a strange person here. Weirder than your lot. I can only really describe him as he was like a metal man. He did not seem to have normal feet, and he had electricity coming out of him and seemed to summon lightning itself. He approached me and gave me an opportunity. He gave me a serum that will help me create a huge army under my wing, and well, I've created it. But all my resources were expended, at least all my extra resources. But with this serum, I can take the crown. If you look up into the sky, as he put it, you can see thousands and thousands of stars. And he said that his people will come through the stars and vindicate this land. The same way I want to vindicate the people of this continent to accept a new king. And King Davik has a nice ring to it. And with your help, maybe we can help arrange a little coup.
Narroth is going to give Astor a very worried look.
You mean
Oh.
Phillip?
Sorry. Narroth is going
Astor's
to give
not here.
Zarrius a very worried look.
And I give him the same very worried look back at him. Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
An old friend has resurfaced.
And he's perfected his serum.
Narroth is going to look at Davik, and he kind of tries to gauge his reaction. Now, you said that you don't have many resources. How is it that someone of your, let's say, stature in this community, with the casinos, the amusement wars, all that you run, how do you not have significant resources?
Well, don't get me wrong, we have plenty of money. Resources, on the other hand, our main export here is olive oil and wine. Unless you want to go get the Wounded King drunk on cheap alcohol, then go ahead, I can help you with that.
Cannot your gold spend like anyone else's?
What is gold going to get you if you guys are in such dire straits to come here?
Gold can fund the building of ships. Gold can...
No. Chopping down trees will fund the building of ships. You don't need gold to achieve that.
Gold will provide or pay for the labor and the expertise for the shipbuilders to build ships.
And if the Wounded King has people under his thumb, how are you going to get the labor?
Do you not have anyone here who can build ships?
Well, it's not going to be an issue of money at that point. You don't have enough wood for the first part, unless you want to go raid those gypsy folks for their wood, and they'll probably come at you with spite, more or less.
But
Well,
you think that the king will have these resources?
No, what you need is men. The king has that.
So then why are we here?
I brought you here to ask why you weren't amused. But the king won't help you.
And why is that?
King is comfortable in his own castle. He leaves for the amusement wars and he feeds off the taxes.
And what would you do as king?
Well, first and foremost, I would grant you men.
I'm not one to normally suggest this, but I think we should do it. I say to the party.
At this point, Phillip uncrosses the arms that he had across his chest, gives a sigh, and says, "Well, only if we can get it in some form that we can hold this man to his promise."
Agreed.
Let's get some more information before we agree to something like this.
Agreed.
Do you, and I'm talking to Davik now at this point. Do you see these marks on my tail?
What about it?
Those are from the same lightning wielding machine that I'm pretty sure you speak of.
And?
We can take care of him, I think. But where would we find said person or machine?
Oh, he's long
And
gone. Probably traveled to another area.
I understand. But what are you saying we need to do in order to obtain your aid?
Well, very simple. I'm going to have you kill a guard. I'm going to change him into another thing. You're going to take his corpse to the castle. You convince the king to lock up. As soon as the king locks up, I have enough men on the inside who can shift into these tiger-like beings, and problem solved. He just can't get reinforcements on the outside until we take care of the stuff on the inside.
So you want us to help you kill the king?
Well, I just plan to kill his guards. The king, haven't decided yet.
Do you want us to help you stage a coup?
Did I not state that?
He did.
Bryn was half listening.
I see. So our role would be to
Convince
bring-
the king to close the gates.
and you're saying close the gates to his castle or building?
That is correct.
And you said you have men inside to take care of them. Who said
That-
guards?
That is correct. It's just if the city guard gets involved, we may be overwhelmed before we can establish rule.
I understand.
Let us take some time to consider this before we agree to something so drastic.
Of course. If you would like to follow me this way, I can show you where you can stay for the evening.
Thank you.
So he'll lead you through the doors. On this side, you will see a room, which is where you'll sleep, and then sort of like a common area. You can put yourselves where you feel comfortable.
Are we supposed to be able to see our tokens on here?
Can you not?
No, we
I
can't.
can't. No.
I see your tokens on the other layer. Can
Uh,
you
Damn
see?
it.
Can you see Davik?
no.
Nope.
Negatory.
There is no tokens.
You
Can
put
you
them
see the
on
map?
wrong.
We can see the
Yes.
map.
You probably put them on the wrong layer, but
No, they're on the right layer.
Maybe we don't have permission to see them.
That shouldn't affect the token. So you can't see Davik either.
No, we
No.
see nobody. We just see the map.
But anyways, I'm assuming we're all going to this bottom left room.
Agreed.
Bottom left or bottom right. So bottom left is, it doesn't matter which one. But he'll leave you there for a little bit.
I'll go into the bottom left room.
Same.
Agreed.
Same.
And do we see Davik still standing there?
There we
Oh,
are.
There we are.
The
Alright.
fog of war was up, so maybe that's what did it.
Well, that was awkward then.
Okay. And does Davik still stand there, or does he end up
No,
walking
if you
out?
guys walk into the room, he'll stay in the hallway.
Okay. Well, I'd like to close the door
Sure.
and proceed to start asking the party. So, what do you guys make of this?
I don't like it.
Same.
We are being given half of a story. We should figure out the other half before we commit to being the protagonists or antagonists of the story.
I don't think we should do it at all.
So, we should go see the king? Is that what you're saying, Narroth?
Yeah, we should see more than one point of view before we make a decision.
Not only that, but I extremely dislike the fact that we have to involve someone who's simply doing their job and just kill them for the sake of someone else's plan.
Not to mention coming to a brand new continent and immediately taking part in a coup.
Pretty sure everybody back in our home country would not like to hear about that.
Pretty sure this is a diplomatic mission.
Assassination
Correct.
definitely wasn't part of the mission, that's for sure. Or coups, I suppose.
Whether we think this action is justified or not is beside the point. We need more information.
What we need is an army, and Davik said it himself. He can't give it to us.
Unless we do what he says. Or suggests, I mean.
I don't like
So-
it. It's a bad deal.
Well, we also said the same exact thing for the guy that ended up putting heads on our things over our heads and took our weapons.
I mean, technically speaking, that was still a bad deal.
Eventually, if nothing, if the stopping talks, he'll knock on the door. Have you guys come to a decision yet?
We were wondering what is that the only thing you have against the king, is that he ends up taking everyone's taxes and locks himself in the castle and feeds himself off of it, essentially?
Oh, I have nothing against the king.
Then why do you want us to set up this coup?
So I can be king. Don't think my intentions were hidden in that standpoint.
Bryn, rolls her eyes.
We are unsure yet as to our thoughts on said task.
Well, I would appreciate an answer soon.
Well, in that case, please give us a minute. Phillip walks up to the door and slowly closes the door.
He looks at you oddly and leaves.
Phillip moves back and he says, "Yeah, I do not think we should do this."
Well,
Now, if I may impose this real quick, I don't know how we're going. If that's what we decide on doing or not doing, I guess. I don't know whether he's going to even just let us go without any consequence.
Yeah,
exactly.
Bryn is loading her rifle right now and says, yeah, he's not going to let us leave.
Well, just in case, let me do this real quick. So Phillip is going to place his right hand on the insignia of the rose that he has on his plate armor, and he's going to cast. Oh, where is it? Okay, he's going to use aid twice so that he can put it on everybody. So all of you guys have an increase of your max HP by 5.
Cool.
And then Phillip says, Alright, so are we in accordance of not going through with this?
Not yet, at least. I don't want to fight our way out of a situation that we could end diplomatically.
Agreed.
Alright, well, as much as I hate to say this, I am I am not someone who can easily engage with diplomatic affairs, so good luck.
I take it
I mean-
Yvette's just been drinking this whole time.
She doesn't appear to be like guzzling.
But doesn't have anything to add?
No, not really.
Narroth
mean-
looks at Zarrius in that case. Are you ready to talk our way out of this situation?
As you just saw, I'm not necessarily the greatest with words, but I'm willing to try and talk our way out.
If you would like, I could see how I do at this.
I will be right behind you.
Narroth chuckles. Perfect.
Shall we?
At this point, Narroth is going to open the door. Thank you for your patience.
Are you going to step out into the hallway, maybe?
I'm assuming Davik is nearby. However, if I don't see him, I will step out into the hallway.
I mean, he is in the hallway. But are you going to say that without, like, stepping out to see him?
I will step out to... Narroth will step out to see him.
It's like, if you come to a decision.
Yes. Our decision, our purpose in being here is to observe the culture and see how we can best go about accomplishing our goals. If it's all the same to you, we are going to take our leave, explore the culture a little bit more, and then come back to you with the final answer.
He looks a little bit and goes, why don't you guys stay here the night? It's getting late, and it's a walk back to the town.
As I experienced earlier with the bags over our heads and intimidation of townspeople, this might not be the best example of what your culture is really like. In order to best serve our mission, I believe that it will behoove us to make sure we get to a nearby town and interact more with your fellow countrymen in their natural setting.
He is going to say, well, it's getting late, and this is the safest place you can be. You can explore in the morning. You can go see the farmers early there if you want to explore culture.
That is most generous of you, but I'm afraid I must insist. We should be We should get going.
I think we understand how to take care of ourselves.
He kind of smirks for a second and goes, you see, whether you helped me or not, you are going to help me accomplish my goals regardless. I don't think you realize that.
Bryn just says, really?
Eh.
And how so?
See, it really doesn't matter whose body I bring to the front door, and outside bodies will work just fine. At that point, you see him teleport out of the room.
Phillip draws his great club.
Let's roll initiative. Cool. Any questions? Everyone rolled, I guess would be a better way to say it.
Yes.
Yes, I think everybody has rolled.
Cool. And so he teleports there, and you guys sort of ready yourselves for, a second, and you start hearing, the sound of roaring coming from the other room.
Oh, which room are we talking about?
This hallway.
Okay. You said roaring as in...
Roaring.
Like a wild beast.
Yeah.
Narroth is going to look over to Zarrius. Great. More of H4NK's experiments.
Oh, God.
Would this still be considered the quote-unquote surprise round?
No, this is not a surprise round.
Okay, so it's officially Davik's turn in combat.
Yeah, if you give me 1 second.
I mean, Narroth would love to activate the Stone Skin Ring, but if it's not a good time for that, then I understand.
What is your dex, Narroth?
Narroth has a 14 dex.
Okay, so coming through the door, you see another figure come in. He appears to be humanoid, but he also appears to have the claws on the mouth of a tiger, and he bursts through the door and comes in here, and he just starts growling, and he is going to walk up to Narroth and begin to attack. You have to give me 1 second, I'm sorry. He gets 3 attacks. He's going to claw you twice and bite you once. So we'll do the 2 claw attacks. Yvette's not rolling that. And so do those hit?
Narroth is going to cast the shield spell. So the first one will hit. The second one, as the tiger claws at Narroth's scales. You can see the scales kind of harden and protrude a little bit more as a response to the strike.
Cool. So the first one hits.
That's correct.
And then he's going to bite you. And probably miss.
That does miss.
And that'll be his turn. Now it's your go.
Perfect. In response to this aggressive creature kind of charging at him, Narroth is going to twin spell the spell Alter Self, and you're going to notice that Narroth's scales, just like when he had the shield spell, his scales kind of protrude a little bit in that one area. His whole body, his scales are going to protrude just like that. You're going to notice that sharp spikes protrude out of his tail. His claws grow sharper, and he looks generally a little bit more armored and fierce. As a bonus action, he is going to cast Earth Aegis on Zarrius, and Zarrius notices that his own body becomes a little harder, and he looks almost dusty as his clothes and armor turn to stone. Narroth is going to look at the tiger, put out a hand, and motion for him to come at me, bro.
Is that the end of turn?
Yeah. Would that be considered an intimidation check?
If you want
Could
to
I
make a
make-
presence attack, sure.
Perfect. Remind me how those work again.
Go ahead and roll intimidation. You will roll against his will defense.
Perfect. Nat 1.
So intimidating.
Oh.
How do you want to describe this?
So, Narroth is increased in size, and his scales are quite large and intimidating. However, the deep red color of his scales seems to have captured the attention of the tiger.
Okay. As you begin to cast these spells and it takes effect, coming from this door behind you, it opens up and you notice another humanoid figure as well. But as soon as you sort of look at him, acknowledge that he is probably hostile, and goes to look back, you hear him roar behind you, and he turns into this tiger form as well. And he is probably not smart enough to go for the flank, so he's just going to go there and attack you. 2 bites and a claw. Or 2 claws and a bite.
Okay, one of those... Actually, wait, let me check. Narroth is going to cast Shield again, because technically it ended at the end of his turn. So he's going to cast that Shield again. You can see his scales swallow the impact of most of those hits. However, the second hit did, or second attack did hit.
Cool. 12 damage?
And what type of damage is this?
This would be slashing.
Okay.
Cool. And that's gonna end his turn. So Yvette is going to walk to the store, opens it, and goes, "Oh hell no!" And he looks at Zarrius, and he looks at Phillip, or she looks at this. At this point, she will cast a spell. She turns at Zarrius and Phillip and go, "Why don't you take care of this?" And she snaps her fingers, and 2 electricity bolts jump out at Zarrius and Phillip. This is a twin spell haste. And then she's going to walk over to this bed, collapse, pull out a flask, goes, "You got this, boys." And then Bryn wanders, goes,
You see Phillip visibly roll his eyes.
So, Phillip has heard, Bryn has heard all of this, I'm assuming.
"Yes,
Does the door close by itself, or did Yvette keep it open?
it's open."
Perfect. Can I see Tiger 1 from there?
Sure.
Alright. So, Bryn will move over to the door after Yvette says, "You got it, boys." And, say, "Hey, I got it too." And then she'll draw her pistol and fire 3 times into Tiger 1.
Roll it.
I'm going to add a Deadeye shot onto this to give it an advantage. Oh, yeah. An advantage on this first attack.
Roll it. Jesus. Yeah, that hits.
I don't even need the advantage.
Wow.
Okay, so that's first attack, and here's the other 2.
Uh, 15 will miss.
Okay. and that is attack action, second attack, and a bonus attack there. And then she'll basically, the way she shoots this is first shot goes off, she spins her 6-shooter forward, cocks the hammer back as it flings into place, shoots again, and then repeats the action. She'll then holster her pistol, look at Phillip and said, "You're up. Get in there."
And it'll be Zarrius' turn.
Okay.
Let me throw this up for you.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Oh. And this lasts 1
A
minute.
minute.
Okay. Sweet. Dang. Okay. So, okay, that changes things then. Okay.
You move like the wind now, boy.
I do. So what I'm going to do, that kind of changed everything. Okay. Let me calculate. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to run out to this hallway right here for starters and see if there's anything out there. Do I see anything? Do I need a roll for it?
Yeah, let me reveal it real quick.
Okay.
You notice that guy right there.
Oh, I definitely would.
It's a gorilla.
Cool. Oh.
Yeah. So you see this guy here. He appears to be in like a giant ape. I think would make more sense than a gorilla. They're kind of the same. But he is wearing parts of him is armored, and he has a great sword on his back. And now he's staring right at you.
Perfect. As a bonus action, I will cast Shillelagh on my staff. You will see that I give a double tap on the ground, so like a bang bang on the ground, and all of a sudden the staff kind of starts to give this like radiant glowing sort of feature to it, and then it dissipates back into the original looking staff, and it has thus turned into a Shillelagh weapon, a magical weapon. I will look at the guy. How tall is he?
8 foot.
Okay, perfect. I look up at him and I realize what I have just encountered. I take my staff and I bang at his leg with it, and I will then proceed to run away after I do this.
What is this exactly?
Shillelagh attack
Okay,
on
perfect.
Gorilla, that is. Is that Gorilla 2?
Gorilla 1.
Gorilla 1. Okay.
16 will miss.
Okay. And I will proceed to run back away, and I will go here.
Okay, he's going to take the attack of opportunity.
Okay.
Disadvantage.
Remember, your armor class is increased
I know.
by 2.
I know, but the 25. Oh, disadvantage. Oh, then that's fine. Yeah, he misses if he has disadvantage.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I was like, wait, 25? That will hit, but no. Okay. So I will proceed to attack Tiger. Is it Tiger 1?
That's correct.
With Shillelagh. I will take my staff and I will jab at him, flanking with Narroth. So I'll have advantage.
24 hits.
Okay, perfect. I'd like to try and cast a stunning strike on him.
Roll it.
Let me pull that up. Give me 1 second. Okay, where did it go? Darn it. There we are. So 18 against his con defense.
Yeah, a little stun.
Sweet. And that will give me an extra attack due to my special weapon ability. And then I will have one additional attack due to haste. Is that correct?
Correct. Figure it out. Roll it.
Cool. I'm going to stay on Tiger 1 and I'm going to attack him one more time.
So these are automatic crits, right?
You rolled one anyways.
You did.
Didn't need those auto crits.
I don't think it's an automatic crit.
No, stunning them doesn't give you an automatic crit.
Oh, they're not considered incapacitated?
I'm pretty sure no. I could look it up.
It doesn't matter for the strike.
Yeah, just keep going. I can look it up.
It just says they're stunned.
It actually is incapacitated.
But incapacitated, I don't think gives you an auto crit.
I don't think so, but it is incapacitated.
Anyway,
It just can't take actions or reactions.
Okay. And I would like to do... I'll attack him one more time. With Shillelagh. $25 will hit, I take it.
Yep.
Okay, and then I would like to throw my whip in the general direction of Gorilla 1.
Roll it.
Hold on 1 second. Oh, other tab. Uh, 24 against his con defense.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, cool. The Gorilla 1 then is weakened and has, I believe it's 1 less attack. Oh, half damage.
Okay, anything else?
And that will end my turn.
Lilith, how would you like to enter?
Okay, so those of you that are in the hallway see behind you a bright blue flash. As this flash appears, you see stepping out of the flash, surrounded by a glowing blue aura, is Lilith. She looks around and says, I am needed. And she extends her hand and she says, by Arathis' power, and she casts a spell. Towards Narroth. And then that's a bonus action. As her movement, she'll move up here and she'll glow again and cast this at Tiger 1.
Jesus Christ. All right. Describe that for me.
Okay, so as she moves up, she extends her hand and she goes, "Feel Arathis' power," and a blinding blue bolt erupts from her hand, striking the target dead in the chest. As he takes the damage, he begins to glow with a blue light, and it means anybody that attacks him next has advantage.
Sounds good.
And Narroth, you're under the effects of Sanctuary.
Thank you.
And that will be Phillip's turn.
So after Bryn says that he's up, you hear Phillip do a bit of a harumph, and he's gonna move over here. Notice an unexpected presence. But what he's going to do is he's going to place he's going to touch the insignia of the rose on his breastplate. It's going to glow blue, and then it's going to kind of go from the rose insignia up to, I guess it would be the space above, just above Narroth. And what he is doing is using the spell Guardian of Faith. So there's going to be a large spectral guardian that is just a huge suit of armor that is also has the rose insignia in the same place as Phillip's armor, and it has a pretty big great club that it will be using to swing at any enemies that are going to hurt his allies.
We'll use that for now.
Okay, so that's his first action. The other one that he's going to do is come up here, and he's going to smack Tiger 1 with the great club that he has.
Okay.
Whoa.
I should let you know that he was bloodied from the guiding bolt.
Okay.
And he just crit because he has advantage.
That's true.
Also, on top of that, he gets another d8 because of the level 8 cleric thing.
That might already be calculated into the macro.
Is it?
I don't remember.
I don't think so, because I'll double check real quick. No, it's just a 1d8 that you put on there.
Okay, roll the other d8.
And just for posterity, because it tells me to, it's cold damage.
Alright, well that guy's sad.
Good.
Gorilla 2 is that the end of your turn? Sorry.
Yes it is.
Okay, Gorilla 2 is going to move here. That'll be his turn. Tiger 3, 10, 15, 20, 20. He's going to move here, and that'll be his turn. Gorilla 1 is going to walk in. I guess he will take the 20 radiant damage.
Well, do a dex save first.
So roll an attack.
Oh, I need to do it, that's right. And it's just plus my wisdom if I'm not mistaken.
Wisdom plus proficiency. Yeah, that'll hit.
Sweet.
So 20 damage. But he is going to attempt to take 3 attacks at Zarrius with advantage, technically.
Okay.
First attack. Second attack. Third attack.
Okay, so the first attack was a 28, then a 15, then a 28, right?
Correct.
So the first and third hit.
Okay, so this is halved, so you take 9 and 10.
Okay.
But remember your Stone Aegis.
Oh, that's right. So subtract
Each
another
time you
4.
get hit.
Oh, so then I subtract another 8.
Cool. So
And-
he.
oh, wait, since he was hit, I can do something.
Let me describe this.
Okay.
So this gorilla walks in. He kind of goes, takes his greatsword, and you can see that he can't seem to get the weight of it as properly, and so he runs and he hits the first attack straight on, but it sort of catches him off balance, and he like numbly misses the second attack. But a third attack, he sort of figures it out and goes for like a downward strike, hitting Zarrius both across his chest and then pretty square on the shoulder. But it doesn't seem to sink as deeply as it should. And then go ahead, Narroth.
All right. Because he was hit while Stone Aegis was on him,
My bad.
Narroth actually pops out of existence. Oh, no, wait, that's a reaction. I've already taken a reaction. Never mind.
Okay, cool. Anything else? Cool. Top of the round, Davik is going to walk out of his room. He's going to see, he's going to cast a spell on Tiger 3, and he's going to walk away. Tiger 1 is going to be very sad, but he's still going to try. He's going to take, a claw at Narroth, a claw at Zarrius, and a bite at Phillip. Sound good?
Before it attacks Narroth,
Tiger.
it has to make a wisdom saving throw, I think.
So, Lilith, go ahead and attack his wisdom.
Phillip will also take a reaction, just so you know.
Tiger 1 is stunned. Also, I will say that.
It can't take actions.
You're right, my fault.
Phillip does not take a reaction.
With that being said, go ahead, Narroth.
All right. Narroth is going to... Tiger 1 is kind of handled. Narroth is going to turn to Tiger 2. He's going to basically use a spell Immolation. And Narroth is going to basically open his jaws and breathe out fire all over Tiger 2.
Is this Immolation? Is this the spell?
That's correct.
Okay, he is going to use his reaction. He has the feat Mage Slayer to try to take a quick bite at you.
Let's see it.
So since you have Sanctuary, technically Sanctuary is canceled because you made an attack. Is that correct?
Once the attack goes off, it is nullified.
So, do I hit
Yeah,
first or
so
does he hit first?
I think. Let me read Mage Slayer. Sorry.
I believe Mage Slayer is if you're attacked by a spell, you get to make a reaction to it, make a retaliatory
Yeah.
strike.
So when a creature within 5 feet of you, you can use cast the spell, you can use your reaction. So technically yours goes first.
Okay. I'm going to attack its Dex defense.
Do it.
All right. It's going to take 7d6 fire damage, and it's going to burn for the duration. At the end of each of its turns, the target repeats the saving throw. If it fails, it takes 3d6 fire damage, and if he succeeds, the fire is put out.
Okay. This takes your concentration, doesn't it?
Oh, shoot, it does. It would be too late to end this, wouldn't it?
Probably.
Well, you can just cast it as a non-concentration spell.
Yeah, but
Do the initial
the
damage.
but the 48 won't persist.
Right.
The 48?
46, whatever the burning thing.
Okay.
is.
If I can do it as a non-concentration spell, I'd like to do that.
Cool. So you'll do the 86 initial.
76, but thanks for the extra one.
Whatever. Oh, Jesus.
32 damage.
All right. So since you cast the spell, he's going to use his reaction to bite at you.
Sounds good.
Is that it?
It does.
Okay. So you have to make a concentration check, quote unquote, with disadvantage, but it'll be normal for you.
Okay. Is that the skill concentration or... Sorry?
Yes, the skill.
I think
Yeah,
that
you're fine.
passes.
Cool. Anything else for your turn?
That's gonna be it.
Okay, he is going to claw bite.
None of those hit.
Are you shielding?
Yeah, I'm shielding.
Cool. So he comes at you, and you can see that he's getting clear marks off of it. It's just sort of glancing off your scales. Yvette kind of lazily kind of stands up. It's like, oh, it's not over yet. Walks over to the door. Walks this way, and kind of goes, and then walks this way and starts drinking. Bryn.
Can I see Tiger too?
Yeah, I'll give you that too.
Okay. While Yvette is walking towards the door, Bryn will take out her rifle from her back for kind of line up the shot before Yvette gets out the door, and then as soon as Yvette rounds the corner, she will attempt to shoot Tiger 2 with her rifle.
It's
All right. She will then switch it from her left shoulder into her right hand, and then draw her pistol and fire twice. Of course, there's some dramatic flair while she does this.
17 will, yes.
And the last shot.
That'll hit too.
Cool.
I think he's getting the hang of this range thing.
I can finally do range. About time. With that, she will again holster her pistol and get the rifle back on her left shoulder and ready for the next round.
Perfect. Let me just math.
Yeah, do it. This is all non-lethal, by the way.
You bloodied the target.
Cool.
You non-lethally bloodied the target.
Good. I mean, good.
Zarrius.
Okay. As my main action, I'm going to cast Mode of the Sun. May I get a little yellow ball, possibly, Chris, to
You're gonna
place
get
on the
that.
map? Thank you.
Where are you placing it?
I would like to place it right here.
Okay.
Thank you. And calculate that really quick. Okay. And then... So, does the gorilla technically end his turn right now?
No,
Or-
technically it's not his
okay.
turn.
Okay. Perfect. Okay, so as my hasted action, I'm going to attack Tiger 1 with Shillelagh. With advantage.
That will miss.
I understand. And then as a bonus action, I'd like to ram my Mode of the Sun into Gorilla 1.
Cool. Go ahead and roll it.
I'm just going to roll the spell one more time.
Sure. Yeah, that'll hit his dex defense.
Okay, cool. And it'll do 9 fire damage then. And that will end my turn. Oh, wait a minute. I lied. I
Okay.
would like to throw my whip at the general direction of the gorilla again.
Cool. Roll it.
Oops, wrong page. A 21
Okay, he's going to ask you to re-roll that.
using
Indomitable. The creature re-rolls a failed saving throw, so he's going to ask you to re-roll the attack.
Does he ask politely?
Sure. Yeah, so he'll be fine.
Okay. And now that will end my turn.
Cool. Lilith.
Okay. So, as a bonus action, I am going to speak the word heal and cast healing word at 2nd level for Narroth. And then as my action, I grab my holy symbol and I say, may the power of Arathis burn you with holy fire. And I cast a spell. Right there. On the doorway. That's against their dex defense.
Okay, each creature in a 10-foot radius. Oh, okay, you're good.
So that hits Gorilla 1, Gorilla 2, and Tiger 3.
Okay, and as you cast that spell, you notice that the actual fire, the place is made out of wood. So you start notice things like the rug starts catching on fire, the carpet, I guess, and that sort of thing as well.
Okay.
Yeah. And we'll worry about that at Initiative 0.
We'll worry about that later. Do you want me to roll again for each individual creature, or just...
Yes, please. Sorry. We'll put that one against Tiger 3. So, Gorilla 1 will save, I guess.
Okay, he still takes half damage, though.
Perfect. Anything else?
I'm gonna move to here. And that'll end my turn.
Cool. Phillip.
Alright, so what Phillip's gonna do, well, what's gonna happen is the rose insignia on this plate is going to glow again. It's going to be a green color that will emanate from the rose into his great club, which will then separate from his great club and create a larger version of it. And I'm casting Spiritual Weapon as a 4th level spell. I'd like to have it right here, next to Tiger 1. So that will be a 2d8 plus my spellcasting. Well, no, I have to do the roll first, so let's do that. Ugh.
That will miss.
Yeah, not as much. Alright, and then Phillip is going to take his haste action to attack Tiger 1 with his own great club.
That'll hit.
Sweet. And when he makes contact, it does glow the same green light as the spiritual weapon and adds the 1d8 for being a cleric.
I want to go ahead and describe it as you bludgeon him to pieces, or don't, depending on what you want to do.
Alright, so what happens is you see his spiritual great club appear, and even though he misses due to the tiger dodging a bit off to the side, Phillip actually manages to kind of meet the tiger with his movements from anticipating it, and he will just hit it with a crunch into the side of his torso. But Phillip does not intend to kill the tiger, so he's just going to knock out and be unconscious.
As the target goes into unconscious, he reverts back to a tiefling form. Anything else?
If I wanted to move through, I'm gonna move over here. Well, actually, yeah, I can move around a weapon, right?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, yeah, so Phillip's just gonna move over there and kind of meet up with Tiger 2 with Narroth.
Okay.
And that's the end of his turn.
Gorilla 2 is going to move in. So go ahead and roll against its dex for the Spirit Guardians. So he takes 10 damage.
Correct.
And he's going to swing 3 times at Zarrius.
All right. The first and third hit.
So 21 and 15.
Math would dictate that's 36.
Don't forget Stone Aegis.
32.
It's 2 hits.
Gotcha.
Okay, so he's gonna end his turn there, and he'll take damage from the Flame Sphere.
Okay. I will just roll it again.
Yeah, that'll hit him.
10 fire.
Tiger 3 is also going to roll in. He is going to be unable to get to you, but he's going to place himself right there. So he'll take damage from the Guardians as well. This one does have disadvantage because he's hasted.
Oh, so you need me to roll it twice. Got it.
Yes. Thank God.
Oh, I hate this. 10 damage, though.
Cool. And he will, quote unquote, hold his action.
How do you have disadvantage on that?
He's hasted. Davik hasted him before he entered the room.
Okay.
He has advantage on dex saving throws.
Yeah. Gorilla 1's going to move away from the fire, moving here, and is going to attack Zarrius 3 times. What's the intelligence of these things? Fairly intelligent. He's going to move here to get the flank. So first attack, second attack, and third attack.
The first and second hit.
Then he's going to bonus action the second one. And that will end his turn. At this point, Danny, I think it might be good to take a brief break.
Okay, we will go ahead and take a brief break, probably 5 minutes. So if you want to stick with us, we will continue with the rest of this battle in just a few minutes. All right, everybody, we are back with more Low Rollers Live. We took a break right in the middle of combat, and now, Chris, go ahead and take it away with our third round.
Cool. I was told that Zarrius wanted to do something real quick.
Yeah, I had wanted to kind of deflect some of that damage that I had taken on that last turn. I had mentioned to it right as we were going off the air. So I was going to cast Impenetrable Iron Tortoise Shell in reaction to the damage that I took. And so what I'll do is I'll pound my fist together and then pound the ground, and earth will start to come up and block some of the damage that I took. So I will cast that right now. Perfect. So 18 for me.
Sounds good. Davik is going to look in real quick and kind of look at the situation. And he's going to cast a spell. Probably for friendly fire. We'll see. Yeah, he's going to throw a fireball spell right into the room.
Ooh.
Have fun with that.
And he's
That doesn't
going
hit me,
to
does it?
shoot it basically through the doorway to the other side of the room. He's going to aim for it right here. So because of the nature of it, we're going to see if he can get there. Which doesn't matter because... Let me measure this. No, it doesn't. Okay, so he's going to aim for it right here. I'm going to attack Lilith first, then Yvette, Phillip, Narroth, then my guys.
You're attacking our dex defense, correct?
That's correct. Lilith, Yvette, Phillip, Narroth, oof, and I believe it only hits Tiger 2, which will hit Tiger 2.
Where was the originated point?
On Yvette.
Real damn close to Lilith, that's where.
It'll hit Tiger 1, and so it's a 20-foot radius. It'll hit Tiger 1
Okay.
and Gorilla 1 too.
Tiger 1's down.
Tiger 1's dead.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Cool. So they'll take it as well. And John will take 48. Well, but it's fire, so
So I won't.
he'll take 24. That's his turn. Tiger 1 is dead. Narroth.
All right. Did that fireball cause any structural damage?
Probably. So things are lighting on fire, but I don't think it's going to be big enough to cause a nuisance at this point.
Okay, not like the fire that's in the front of the room?
Correct.
All right. In that case, Narroth is going to take a step backwards beside Phillip, provoking attack of opportunity from Tiger 2, which misses.
What's your AC right now?
24.
Does shield end at the start of your turn or at the end of your turn?
Ooh, that's a good question. I want to look that
I
up.
think it's the start, if I'm not mistaken. Also, I think this may proc Sentinel from Phillip, so I'll do that when I can.
Sure.
Till the start of your next turn.
But yeah, so so is your AC
19?
19? So
Yep.
he'll roll. It's only 12 damage.
Okay, so may I take the reaction attack?
Go for it.
Cool. Yeah.
10 misses.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Narroth.
All right, and Narroth is going to take one more step back and is going to cast Cone of Cold as a careful spell. He's going to give advantage to Phillip and Zarrius.
What's the save?
So that would be a Constitution save.
Okay.
In what order are you attacking?
I'll attack Phillip, Tiger 2, Gorilla, Zarrius, other Gorilla, other Tiger that I can't see the nameplate for.
It's good.
Cool.
Let's see how far that goes.
And you hit
That could hit
Davik as
Davik
well.
too. It is 60 feet away. Should I roll for
Kamehameha.
Davik too?
I'm gonna give Davik advantage on it because technically you will have disadvantage on the attack just because of the obstacles.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. This is for Phillip.
Oh well.
This is for Tiger 2.
Phillip has advantage, so
Oh yeah, Phillip does have advantage. Because careful spell.
That's still gonna hit though.
Okay, sorry.
Oh well.
Tiger 2. Man.
This is
Gorilla. These next two are for Zarrius.
Is this what was this again? What kind of?
Constitution.
Okay. That is it disadvantage?
Disadvantage, so 50.
Okay, so that would miss.
Okay. Gorilla. Tiger. And Davik.
okay. Our Gorilla Tiger 2 passes. Gorilla, what number is this? Gorilla 1 fails. No, Gorilla 1 passes. Gorilla 2 fails. Tiger 3 fails, and Davik fails.
Okay.
So, go ahead and roll
So
the damage.
can I just roll the damage and you
Just
cut it in
once, yeah.
half if you
Go for it.
failed or if you succeeded?
You got it.
Cool. All right, so I know that says 32. That's actually going to be 34 damage because I have the Elemental Adept feat. Also, if anyone has resistance to cold damage, they don't when I do it.
Phillip is bloodied.
So I would take what is it? 17?
Yep.
Oh no, half of half. Oh, wait, no, it's just half. That's right.
Did you
right.
you
I,
succeed?
I succeeded.
So 34 divided by 2 would be 17, unless you have
Perfect.
resistance to cold damage.
Well, I have the No, I don't have the -4 from the other one, but that's
Nope, you don't. All right, and that's going to be Nareth's turn.
So Davik, okay. Tiger 2 is bloodied. Everyone else hasn't hit bloodied yet. Oh, Gorilla 1 is bloodied as well. Davik is also bloodied. And he loses concentration on haste, so Tiger 3 cannot take actions this turn.
Has the Spectral Guardian been attacking?
Yes.
Okay, and the weapon of whatever?
Yep.
Okay.
And we'll say that the flames are aside enough to not be an immediate issue.
Perfect.
But Tiger 2 is going to go beat up on Phillip.
Mm-hmm.
3 attacks. 4, 10, and 15. 14, 10, and 15.
Oh, yeah, those will all miss. You hear 3 clangs on the armor.
Tink, plink, tink.
Well, there might be a tonk, but,
Oh.
you know.
Tonk, plonk, tink.
Yes, that.
Alright.
Yvette's going to move here. He's going to...
She
is going to attack Tiger 3, casting the spell Lightning Lure. Which will miss. And then she is going to Misty Step into this room.
Good plan.
run away.
And then she is going to go sit on this couch. And that'll be your turn. Bryn wanders.
Alright, Bryn will draw her 6-shooter. Spin it forward and shoot at Tiger 2. Does that hit?
Yes, sorry.
Alright. With her second attack now, she's actually going to reload. So to anybody who can see this, which I think is probably just Phillip, when she fires her shot, she also releases the chamber, which is a terrible idea. She also releases her grip on the gun, so the momentum from the actual shot flings it backwards and empties out all the cartridges onto the floor. And then she grabs it as it swings back around and shoves 6 lightning shots into it and does a bonus action attack on Tiger 2, non-lethal. So basically this lightning shot looks like anime.
Okay.
Good description.
It looks like anime.
19 will hit too.
Alrighty. And then since Bryn is a fighter, I'm going to go ahead and action surge.
Okay.
And she will chuck her, or do a few backwards flips on her pistol, and then chuck it in the air, and while doing so, draw out her rifle, catch the pistol on her hip, and then fire twice at Tiger 2.
Roll it.
Non-lethal.
Can I describe it?
Sure. So, catches it in the hip. She fires once from her left shoulder onto it, and then drops her rifle down by her hip, pumps the lever to eject the spent shell, and then just goes ahead and shoots it in the right shoulder, I will say.
Okay, as it passes out, he reverts back to his humanoid form.
And I'm back up to full grit.
How many grit did you spend? 1?
Just 1.
Oh, okay.
So I'm back.
Is that the end of your turn?
That is all.
Serious.
Okay. So, what I would like to do for starting off, I look to each side of me and I see both of the gorillas, or giant apes, whatever you want to call them. And I see that they're very massive, and since I'm so small, I see that I can kind of possibly wiggle my way through the gorilla's legs. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to acrobatics through the gorilla 2's legs, so this one. And I'd like to be able to go over here. I take it I'll need to roll acrobatics for that.
Cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to treat this as a contest. What he's basically going to do, he's going to swing at you. It will be his attack roll versus your acrobatics roll.
Okay, and whichever one succeeds is the winner.
Right.
Okay.
Oh
Great.
man.
So what happens is that you stay there, and he sees you trying to get through him, and he sort of puts his hand up, picks you up, and he stops your movement. So you are going to be dropped to 0 movement, and but you still have your action, your bonus.
Okay, perfect. So I would like to attack Gorilla 1 first with Shillelagh.
Roll it.
Sorry, I had to find it again.
That will
darn.
miss.
I will attack Gorilla 2 now with Shillelagh. So the other one. Are you kidding me?
Ugh.
Jesus Christ.
So
Three
These are terrible
ones in a
successes.
row.
What's the probabilities on that?
So I will attack Gorilla 1 again, since my weapon gives me an extra attack. So this will be my extra weapon attack. Shillelagh on Gorilla 1.
That will miss.
Better, but not good enough. And then as my hasted action, I will attack Gorilla 2 with Shillelagh.
That will also miss. And at this point, I haven't been using this, but I think I will at this point. Both of the gorillas have the sentinel feet. So they're both going to take pot shots at you.
Oh man.
Sucks.
Do I get to finish my turn first?
No, this will technically be as a result of you attacking them.
Okay.
So Gorilla 1 attacks you. Well, hey. Oh, he has advantage, though. But that probably still misses.
Misses.
Gorilla... whatchamacallit is going to attack you? 28 hit?
Yes.
Take 25 damage.
Now you said 2 gorillas hit him?
That's correct.
Do you mean a gorilla and a tiger?
No, the 2 tigers are dead.
Well, we still have one more tiger, but
Okay,
Oh.
I'm sorry, yes.
They're unconscious.
the gorillas are unconscious.
The tigers. They're
Yeah.
not dead.
How are the gorilla... Oh. Oh. Okay, never mind.
Cool. And then you can take the rest of your turn.
I'd like to make a reaction based on Zarrius taking damage. Narroth is going to, because of Stone Aegis, he's going to blimp out of existence and teleport 5 feet away from the attacker. So that's going to be this gorilla over here.
Sure.
And this reaction also lets me make a melee attack against the gorilla, and if I hit, I get an extra 1d10 of force damage.
Sweet. You have advantage, too.
$27.
Okay.
All right, so he takes 6 slashing damage, and let me roll the force damage. Nine force
Nice.
damage.
Okay, Zarrius.
And I think as my bonus action, I want to disengage.
Okay, good plan.
And so you said that took in my entire movement?
Yes.
Okay, so I just stay here, but I'm disengaged.
So I think what you want to do is the dodge action,
Okay, dodge.
which gives them disadvantage
Uh-huh.
on the attacks.
That's what I
Cool.
meant.
Lilith.
Okay, so as my regular action, I'm going to cast this. To Narroth, Phillip, Zarrius, and myself.
Oh, you rolled terribly.
Mm,
Two twos and a 1.
Well,
Every
it's
little
no
bit
longer bloodied.
Then, as a bonus action, I'm. So that looks like she grabs her holy symbol and she says, "May the power of Arathis heal you." And a wave of blue energy erupts from her, washing over her allies. She turns and she points to Zarrius and say, "They may not strike you." And she casts this. As a bonus action.
Nice.
Now, I hate to be a rules lawyer, but can you cast 2 leveled spells into the same?
No.
Yes, I have a specific feat that allows me to do it.
It's a thing. It's fine.
Okay, cool. Sorry about that.
No,
No worries.
it's a good clarification.
Whenever we reveal character sheets is when we will reveal that. Whenever that will be. But is that the end of your turn?
No, I'm gonna move there.
Phillip.
Now, remind me about this particular rule. I rarely use spiritual weapons, so even though it technically is a spell, would I still be able to cast a leveled spell on a regular action and then use spiritual weapon as my bonus?
That's
Yes.
correct.
Okay, cool. Just wanted to make sure that was legal.
I mean, to attack with it, you can't recast it.
Right. Now, would it be possible for the spiritual weapon to take up the same space as Tiger 1?
No.
Hmm.
Oh, Tiger 1's dead. Never mind. Go ahead.
Right, okay, so I just want to use my bonus to move it over there and attack the gorilla next to Narroth.
Cool. That'll hit.
Cool. And then Phillip's gonna come over here. And actually, before he moves there, what he's going to do is, with his right hand, while holding the great club in the left, a ball of blue light's going to appear. And he's going to kind of just toss it in the general direction, and you'll see it split into 5 different little balls of blue light, which is Phillip casting Bless as a good level spell. So it's going to be you put on Lilith, Phillip, Narroth, Zarrius, and Bryn.
So everyone besides Yvette.
Right.
Okay.
So that was his main action, and for his hasted action, he's going to attack Gorilla 1 with the Great Club. Well, the 1d4 is probably not going to matter, so I won't roll it.
So what's this bonus that we got?
Extra D4.
What? Yeah, from bless.
To attacking or damage?
Attack and saving throws.
Okay, cool.
Gorilla 2 is right here. Gorilla 2 is going to attempt to swing at Zarrius.
Let me roll. I'll roll it.
Rolling against his wisdom defense, is that correct?
Yep.
Nice.
And he will not attack. But he still has 2 more attacks. And he can't get to anyone. But he will move here. Can I make 2 more attacks on him? Is
Yes,
it per
I
turn?
just have to. Yeah, I have
Okay.
to roll it.
So next attack. That was still 16. Yeah, alright, so he doesn't get any attacks off. Tiger 3 is down. Or he's lethargic. Gorilla 1 is probably going to attack Phillip and then attack Narroth twice. First attack. Second attack. And third attack. So 21, 25 against Narroth, and 20 against Phillip.
Narroth
That's
is going to
gonna-
cast shield.
It's gonna miss Phillip as well.
Yep. Davik is going to attempt to firebolt at Lilith. Say your AC.
Yeah.
So you see him pull out his wand. He kind of goes, like he says the incantation, and as it goes out, the cone of cold still kind of has its effect, and apparently he only takes 3 damage. But his aim was impeccable. Tiger 1 is dead. Narroth.
All right, Narroth is going to set off actually first, Narroth is going to take a step backwards, provoking an opportunity attack from Gorilla 1.
Gorilla 1 has used his action already.
His reaction?
Yep.
Oh, very nice. In that case, he doesn't, which is even better. And Narroth is going to basically breathe fire up towards the ceiling. It's going to arc and land right about at the doorway, right over here. And it's going to spread out in 20 feet in every direction, which will hit Gorilla 1, Gorilla 2, Zarrius, the Tiger, and Davik. So I'm going to start rolling against defense, or dexterity defenses.
How would you hate me if I asked you just to cast it once? And we'll use 1 attack roll for everyone.
That'd be up to you. You're the DM.
I would prefer it. Just for timing.
Okay.
Roll well.
So that would be 32 damage.
That's a good roll.
Yeah,
Wow.
that does it.
Nice, bud. Nice. And then because it's fire, doesn't it heal Zarrius?
No, this is a natural fire spell, so it would still hit Zarrius, but Zarrius is
He's
to
resistant.
fire damage.
And I can evade.
Also
Exactly.
this thing.
So you take half of half, which is cool.
Which is
Freaking
not
monks,
much.
man.
So you take 7 damage.
Well, and he also has disadvantage against me.
That's true. Would you like me to roll again for Zarrius?
Yes, I would love to for you to roll for me.
Yes, please, and miss this time.
Mm,
You couldn't do it.
That does not pass my dex defense.
Oh, nice.
good.
So you take nothing.
I take absolutely nothing.
Cool.
Got a level monk.
So that's 32 damage.
So, is that the end of your turn?
Does anyone go down from that?
No.
Okay, in that case,
Hit Davik?
yeah, that would hit Davik too.
Oh, Davik goes down.
Yes. All right, in that case, Narroth is going to back up a couple steps. That's the end of the turn.
Okay. Tiger 2 is dead. Yvette is going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, land here, and kind of goes, ugh, come on. As a bonus action, she can, before casting a leveled spell, she can jump in and move 10 feet without provoking attack of opportunity. She is going to quickly jump here and is going to cast a spell. And so she can take the creature with us. So she's going to pick up Zarrius and teleport out of the way. And then you hear a loud boom. And both, unfortunately, Phillip as well, Gorilla 1 and Tiger, whatever number this is going to take full damage, actually.
Well, Phillip will use dampen elements, I think, dampen nature to take half that damage.
Yeah, and Gorilla 1's going to go down.
Absorb elements?
No, it's a nature cleric thing. Dampen
Oh, I
elements.
see.
I can gain resistance to a elemental type of damage for this reaction.
Neat.
Is
nine
going
damage.
to bring Zarrius to the back wall with that action.
And Phillip is bloodied.
Yeah, sorry.
Eh.
I can see. Zarrius was really bloodied for a long time, so I think that was the most logical turn. But, Bryn.
Okay, so who can I actually see at this point?
From your vantage point, you probably have to move down to be
Okay.
able to get Tiger 3.
Okay, so if I move like here, I could tag Tiger 3.
Yep.
Okay. So she will go ahead and move down there. With her rifle, we're going to go ahead and spin the last bullet in the rifle to do a trick shot on its head. So I'm going to go ahead and roll first, and then if that hits, I will attack its con.
Yep. That hits.
Okay, give me a second. Oh. Okay.
That he saves.
Yes, I'm good, but does anybody see what happens when I feel lucky?
I
Okay,
can
yeah,
most
well,
definitely not.
Probably not.
Okay, so I'm gonna just be lucky and re-roll that one. And I might as well just add that bless on there, because why not? So 18 total?
Yeah, and double checking. Yeah, that matches.
Okay, so it takes the 18 damage from the regular attack, and it is blinded until the end of my next turn.
Ugh. Okay.
Okay, and then she will go ahead and pull out her pistol and shoot it 2 more times. Yes, blinded by the light.
How would you like to describe this skill?
Not a kill. So she is using lightning rounds. She's using anime rounds. So the first bullet actually hits the target in the arm. The second one hits the wall next to it and then just shocks it into out of consciousness, basically. It kind of like explodes with electricity and shocks it.
Cool. Intern?
Yep, go ahead and pass it.
Cool. Zarrius. Gorilla 2 is your last target.
I'm going to run in, and I'm going to try and attack Gorilla 2. And Shillelagh.
That hits.
Okay. The 11 damage. And the bless is only for attack rolls, is that correct?
Attack and saving throw.
Okay, just wanted to make sure. First one attacks. Second attack is also on him, Shillelagh.
Okay.
That also hits. And then my hasted action, I will attack with Shillelagh. If I don't pass, I'd like to add the D4 to that.
Yeah, add the D4. And you hit.
Okay. 10 damage for that one.
Why'd you even make him
All
roll?
right. How would you like to describe this?
Okay. I would. This is non-lethal. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to run through his legs as a kind of take that sort of thing, and I'm going to climb up the wall and with my staff come down on his head, crushing him to the floor, and getting rid of any sort of magic and that sort of stuff.
Okay. So he will regress back into his tiefling form. Just so I know, Davik, did you kill him?
I wasn't meaning to. However, it is a fireball.
So he can be burned, but still.
I mean, he's a tiefling, right?
I was trying to do it so I wouldn't kill him.
Okay, I'll allow it.
I mean, he is a tiefling, so.
Remove mode of the sun.
There is something Phillip wants to do as soon as the battle's over, though.
I'm pretty sure the battle's over.
Yeah, battle's
All right.
over.
Well, essentially, all Phillip's going to do is just wander around, make sure that all these people, including Davik, aren't just going to croak. So he's going to be using Spare the Dying on each of them.
Cool.
Narroth is going to go to each room and basically open up each of the doors just to make sure there's nobody left here that poses a threat. And assuming that's not the case, he's going to go ahead and sit probably right in the middle of the fire, sit down cross-legged, and use control flames to put out any of the cinders so that the house doesn't burn down.
Okay, that's gonna take a couple minutes. What's everyone else doing?
Bryn's reloading both of her guns.
Lilith is
Oh wait,
going...
I wanted to do one thing quick. She will walk out this door while reloading her gun and say, "Lilith." Okay, go ahead.
Lilith is going to walk up to Zarrius, kneel down in front of him, stick her hand out, and cast Cure Wounds at 4th level.
Let's see how much wounds you cure. Oh, damn.
Wow.
Okay.
And she says, Feel better?
Yes, much better. Thank you.
And she turns and to Bryn and says, "Hello."
At this point, you see Yvette. You can tell that the alcohol is starting to take effect as the adrenaline leaves her, and she sort of stumbles, puts her hand against the wall, and goes, "Who are you?"
Phillip walks over to Yvette to make sure she doesn't just fall over.
She falls over.
She goes, "My name is Lilith. I'm a former companion of these gentlemen and lady."
Former?
I was brought here in their time of need by Arathis. She made a deal with me.
Well, your assistance in this battle was most appreciated, Miss Lilith. Miss Lilith.
Lilith just nods her head. She walks over towards Narroth. "Have you been injured?"
You can see that Narroth is probably at this point halfway through meditating in order to basically put out the fire, and he's just going to shake his head.
Yes or no?
Sorry, shake no.
Okay, she turns back and has anybody else been hurt?
Well, Phillip has blood running down several parts of his body.
Okay, so she walks over to him and casts another spell as blue healing energy comes out of her.
And Phillip says, "Many thanks," and he does a slight bow.
And she goes, "What happened? Why were you guys fighting these people?"
We were taken / forced to come here, and Davik wanted to make a bad deal, and he wasn't going to let us leave without a fight.
Davik is that one. Then she points to the unconscious body of Davik.
While this is happening, once Phillip gets Yvette to sit down somewhere, he's gonna kind of gather up the bodies and put them on the beds in the room next door.
I say to the others that I know, I say, "Who is the orc and the human woman?"
They brought us here. It's the captain and first mate.
And as Zarrius is saying that, Phillip, in the middle of moving bodies, stops in the middle of the doorway of the rooms he's going in between. He turns towards Lilith and he says, "My name is Phillip. It is a great pleasure to have made your acquaintance." And then he just keeps doing his thing.
Okay. Well, I guess we need the update. I'm a little out of the loop here.
Yes. We are here to obviously get their aid. Davik was one of the people we were supposed to get aid from. And he wanted to make a bad deal as to overthrow the king. And he was going to give us a nice sized army to help fight the wounded king.
Well, what he specified was
doubt.
gold, not army.
And what were those creatures? Never seen their like.
They were from an old friend that he ended up selling to Davik.
You guys make some weird friends. I just need to say that.
Yeah, you should know.
Burn.
Wow.
Ouch. Lilith just sort of hangs her head and she goes, well, I don't think we should. I think we should turn him into the authorities then, if this was the case. Maybe it will help our cause.
I think so. It might be good. What do you think, Bryn?
One more thief off the street. It's good for me.
Yes.
Well, at this point, Phillip pops back in and says, I'm not quite sure it'll be that easy, I'm afraid. The reason why I say that is this Davik fellow, as unpleasant as he may be, he does seem to be a rather huge presence in this particular area. We may possibly turn him in, but he would probably just come right back out and angrier than before. I think your half-dragon friend over there may or may not agree with what I have to say based on his proficiencies.
Narroth is just still meditating. You can see that the fire is slowly being put out.
Bryn is kind of confused about what Phillip just said.
I'm guessing Phillip notices this, so he's gonna try and clarify. He says, "Well, let me see if I can put it a little simpler. This man is just very important. I'll put it this way. Regardless of whether or not we like him, because of the influence that he has here, as we saw him being pretty much level with the king at that entertaining show that he did earlier, chances are, even if we brought him in, we would probably be the ones getting in trouble because of the influence that he has."
Unless we go see the king and one or two of us go to see the king and tell him what went down. And
there's ways of making him tell the truth.
At that point, you see Phillip kind of raise his eyebrow at you for a second, then he puts it back down.
I am not speaking of torture. I am speaking of magic.
Quick question, Chris. How much does Phillip know about Arathis?
Give me
If
a
anything.
religion.
Alright. Int based?
Yeah, fortunately.
Nothing.
You know the generics of it. Arathis is, to some she is the tech goddess, to some she is the goddess of civilization. Generally she is portrayed as some sort of cyborg / robot, depending on who's drawing her. Very rarely, sometimes she's viewed as human. Yeah.
Gotcha. And with Phillip being a cleric himself, is he aware of spells like Zone of Truth, or is that something he's not proficient in? He is, okay. Well, so in response, Phillip says, "No, well, I definitely wouldn't have liked torture, but I am aware there are other ways of doing this." Well, so what are everyone's thoughts on the on what I just said? I think It may make some sense, but who knows? I may be thinking too deeply into it.
I think, regardless of his station, any sensible king, don't know, I have never met this man before, but any sensible king would take threats against his life very seriously, regardless of the opposition station.
I guess the other point is, do we have any evidence, aside from our word as people who have just arrived on this continent, that will make the king go into action like that? Actually, that's a good point. Let's go ahead and explore the complex. And Phillip goes off.
Now, real quick question: is the symbol on your armor very prevalent? Is it like?
Well, you can tell it's important because every time he used a spell, it kind of reacted to whatever he was doing.
So, Chris, can I roll a religion check to see if I know what the symbol means?
Do it.
Where the fuck is religion? There it is.
Yeah, so this is the this is Soon, the goddess to beauty. I think the biggest story point is it is believed that she was crying one day and made the ocean. But beyond that, she normally represents things of beauty. You notice that the people of Soon are the most types of people to be the most charitable. They're the types of people to get their hands dirty and do that sort of thing. This is the Salvation Army in my world. We'll just put it that way. They're the people who ring the bells on the corners trying to get the donations to help the poor, that sort of thing.
You do also see that Phillip has a book that kind of is on his belt, on his self, which may or may not come across as important to you, depending on what Lilith thinks.
Yeah, but Soon worshippers tend to appreciate beauty in all its forms, which that's probably about as far as you know, as far as that's concerned.
Okay. I do look to Zarrius, Narroth, and Bryn and say, can I speak to the three of you privately for a minute?
Bryn will go wherever.
I think so, and I get up slowly because I'm still hurting.
At this point, Narroth does not immediately respond. You can see him kind of looking down, basically eyes glazed over at the fire, contemplating all the issues that are before him. As Narroth is slowly putting out the fire, letting it burn away on its own, Narroth's mind kind of has an image of the frozen flame that Bryn showed him earlier, and you can see that the fire that was burning in embers suddenly flash freezes, and you can see a flame basically made of ice. Narroth would look around, nod, slowly rise, and walk through the frozen flames.
I'm going to take them into that room with the couches. And I say to Yvette, because I know Phillip went off to search the house or whatever. I say to Yvette, I'm sorry, but I need to speak to my friends privately. And I shut the door.
She's already snoring on the bed in the other room.
Oh. Well, that makes this easy.
Bryn will, as Narroth comes up, Bryn will give him a little punch on the shoulder, like a good job. But go ahead.
Probably the first time today you see Narroth grin.
I take them in the other room and I say, the situation in Tyria is dire. I will be here when you need me most, but I cannot stay. It is the deal that I have made with Arathis. So I will be here when I can. But the Civil War has affected me greatly. My family has sided with the Queen, but the Church has sided with the King. I have not yet made my decision on how I want to proceed. I know that you all have your mission, but this uprising in Tyria is more serious than we thought. She looks to Narroth and says, "Your mother is causing a lot of havoc."
At this point, Narroth raises an eyebrow. My mother?
Do you not remember the tower and what we saw?
We know she had relations with my father. We do not know more than that.
Well, we can assume.
You.
But the Queen is... It has split Tyria completely down the middle. And one way or another, we have to choose sides. And I don't know which side to choose. I need your guys' help.
What do you need?
My family has chose the Queen, but my church has chose the King.
Oh, you want us to pick?
I don't know which is right. Do I side with my loved ones? Do I side with my mother, who raised me? Or do I side with the church?
Chris, stop.
God damn, Chris.
Wow. Sorry.
That was your one and your two.
That's Aww.
Well, I found that sometimes the best choice is both? Neither? Both.
Well, if I could end it without any more bloodshed, that would be ideal.
Well, the way I see it, you're in a unique position. You belong to both sides. Who better to bridge the gap?
Maybe. Just know that my thoughts are with you guys, and I hope you succeed at your mission. But I must return, And as she, before she leaves, she walks over and touches Narroth again. She puts her hands on his shoulder, and she funnels the last of whatever magic she has in to cure him. I mean, I can cast all the spells, but I have quite a few spells left. So he's like at full health.
Narroth would look over to you, eye to reptilian eye. He'd give a nod and walk back into the other room.
She turns to Zarrius and says, "Keep him out of trouble."
I will. And remember that we are not fighting against each other. We're fighting against the wounded king. So we need to try and unify as many people as we can to go up against him.
Lilith just nods. She turns to Bryn and she says, "Well, Bryn, you have the toughest job of them all.
Hmm?
You have to keep both of them out of trouble." She turns and sticks her hand out to her.
Bryn will just hug her.
She says, as she whispers in her ear, "Please take care of my friends. Even though they don't trust me, I owe them my life." And with that, she'll disappear into mist. That same blue light emanates from her. And as the blue light disappears, Lilith is no longer there.
Well, Bryn will just look at Zarrius. That was weird.
Darn it, Bryn, what did you do with her?
She's mine now. Well, what's next?
Let's get some sleep.
Let's find a secure place for this one. He points over to the unconscious prisoner.
At this point, you hear Yvette sneeze, and a huge thunderbolt comes from it. And then she's currently in the room on the floor next to you, still asleep.
Yeah, we need to find a place for this one, too.
You hear Phillip knocking on the door. He opens the door, but it's not locked.
Well, it was unlocked, and Narroth had already opened it to go over to the room.
It's true.
He walks in. He looks over at Yvette. Looks over at the rest of you, gives a sigh, and kind of just picks her up in a fireman carry. "Well, what are we doing?"
I think we need to spend the rest of the night here and take shifts watching the dumb Davik.
Here, if there's one place we know they're going to be coming to look for him, it's here.
I don't think I have the strength right now to walk back into town.
Well, if need be, I can carry you a bit of a distance so we can not sleep here.
And I can carry you the rest of the way. I've carried
And
you before.
Zarrius, you're at full health.
Oh, I am?
I dumped the last of my... I dumped all my healing energy into you so that you could be at full health.
Okay.
I just didn't cast a spell because it's tedious.
Gotcha.
So, are we in agreement to go elsewhere?
To the keep.
Yes.
Okay, great. Well, shall we be on our way? And Phillip kind of beckons for you all to walk out of the room with his free hand.
I'm limping. I was limping along my way, but I'll slowly be gaining my strength back eventually.
Bryn wasn't even touched, so she's skipping along just fine.
And we head back into town
With Davik.
with Davik.
And I think that the full moon's out, and you kind of look up into the sky and think about H4NK coming from space into the world and causing these problems. And you think about the stars in the sky and how vast the world is, thinking on how different this culture is. And for this briefest of seconds, you see and something else appear. It appears to be another constellation of some sort. And this constellation sort of envelops the other constellations of the gods in the sky. And you see the constellation of the Wounded King, the Beholder. He have his center eye in the middle and 10 stars circling around it, representing his other 10 eyes. And it sort of envelops the image of the non-Azamar gods briefly. First ones to go would be Moradin and Grumsh and Gilgamesh, and everyone looks up, notices this, and then we fade to black as we end the session.
All right, everybody, thank you for joining us for episode 3 of the Low Rollers Live. If you enjoyed it, please go ahead and give us a follow or sub, anything you want to do. We do stream every Monday night at 9 p.m. Pacific, so you can catch us here every single week. We're going to go on a quick break really quick, but we will come back in just a few minutes for our post show after the rolls. And if you want to join us there or put some questions in the chat, we can go ahead and read that off during the post show. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll be back in a few minutes.